In this lecture, we will analyze in a nutshell the main global energy efficiency trends and indicators. After this lecture, you will be able to identify the most important challenges and opportunities related to energy efficiency in the industry, transport, and building sector, with a special focus on developing countries. Human production activities heavily rely on natural resources use. Nowadays, the majority of the resources used by human activities are non-renewables, and carbon emissions became a global issue. These are limited, their use affects the environment, and their non-equitable management affects social inclusion. Therefore, a more rational and sustainable use of natural resources is fundamental to pursue a sustainable future for all. The reduction of greenhouse gases and pollutant emissions and the use of non-renewable resources can be achieved through two directions: promoting energy efficiency actions and increasing the penetration of renewable energy systems. Both the actions are essential in order to pursue the Sustainable Development Goal 7, namely the Sustainable Energy System for All. This requires finding appropriate, sustainable and equitable ways to manage natural resources throughout all their life cycle. In particular, energy efficiency plays a crucial role and provides high-impact opportunities. In fact, energy efficiency measures allow to provide the same or more economic services with a reduced consumption of primary energy. The International Energy Agency, known as IEA, recognized the role of the energy efficiency as a key to ensuring a safe, reliable, affordable and sustainable energy system for the future. In this regard, energy accounting-based models can support more appropriate, comprehensive and effective actions. Rapid progresses have been achieved in terms of performance and cost in the last years, as reflected by the continuous decrease of the global energy intensity year by year, that is the ratio of primary energy supply to gross domestic product. This has been considered the direct result of government policies such as mandatory energy efficiency standards, public financing, and the use of market-based instruments as tradable certificates linked to energy savings obligations on utilities. Efficiency improvements are also attributable to price effects, advances in technology and energy management practices in the buildings and industrial sectors. In the emerging world, it is worth to mention the Brazilian policy measures of 2016, which banned the use of lighting incandescent bulbs, and the implementation of the new light-duty vehicle CO2 standards in India in 2017. In the coming decades, energy efficiency policies are expected to further reduce global energy intensity, which is indeed expected to decrease by 2.4% per year between 2017 and 2030. But this falls short of a 2.7% annual improvement required in the SDG 7.3 target. Despite progresses in the advanced economies, especially thanks to energy savings in the transport, electricity and building sectors, more demand for new energy services will continue to drive up energy demand in emerging countries. Nevertheless, access to more energy-efficient technologies and different energy roadmaps will bring lower-income countries to follow a more virtuous path than the one followed in the past by countries that have higher incomes today. In terms of economic sectors, the efficient world scenarios of the IEA identifies the potential for industry to produce nearly twice the value per unit of energy use in 2030, compared with current levels. Especially in emerging regions like China and India, the addition of modern and more efficient capacity will bring down the energy intensity of the industry sector. Globally, electricity for industrial applications will rise, mainly due to the electrification of the expanding industrial production and the replacement of fossil fuels with electricity-based technologies, for example heat pumps for producing industrial heat. Therefore, increasing the energy efficiency of electric motor systems can represent an important opportunity to offset this rise. In the transport sector, efficiency improvements made to internal combustion engines, some fuel switching from oil to electricity, natural gas and biofuels will contribute to reduce oil consumption and increase fuel economy. To achieve new fuel economy results in the future, the most promising technological improvements are hybridization, variable valve actuation, direct injection, friction reduction and light weighting. All over the world, IEA scenarios highlight that despite doubling transport-related activity levels, energy demand could stay flat between now and 2040. Key end-use opportunities are expected especially for the passenger car fleet. The average car could be as efficient as today's best hybrids, and 40% of the global fleet could be electric. The building sector accounts now for around 36% of the global final energy consumption and nearly 40% of total direct and indirect CO2 emissions. In this context, energy efficiency improvements in modern appliances and building structures are thought to offset the expected growth of the total building floor area. In fact, buildings in 2040 could be on average nearly 40% more energy efficient than today. These energy savings are almost equally split between advanced and developing economies, but the electricity and gas demand in buildings in developing countries is expected to increase more than double compared to advanced economies by 2040. In Africa and Asia especially, since hundreds of millions of people are expected to achieve access to electricity by 2040, these new connections would require additional power supply of over 300 terawatt-hours for lighting. In this context, providing lighting services through light-emitting diodes can potentially reduce this need by 3/4. Finally, improving energy efficiency in the building sector for emerging economies will represent an important driver in decreasing urban air pollution due to cooking and heating. In conclusion, when energy efficiency is combined with the penetration of renewable, it is expected to affect the distribution of global income by reducing the demand for oil, gas, and coal. Importing countries would reduce their import tax, enhancing energy security, while exporting countries will have to find alternative sources of income. In the next lesson, we will analyze and discuss the current outlook and the global opportunities for the renewable energy market.